Sup, bitches? Welcome back to the Sassy Spiritual Bitches podcast. I'm Randi.
And I'm Kayla.
And we're here talking to you today about fuck all.
Man.
We got nothing in it's as far as topics go, because we're just gonna chat and we're just gonna see what the fuck comes up, because I just feel like that's the way to go here.
Yeah. Definitely set the intention that it was relevant for everybody on this end of the other side of the listening world. So see what happens, I guess.
Yeah. Get used to it, because if you're if you're going to be joining us on Patreon, this is kind of what the bonus episodes are going to be like. So it's kind of like a little taste test of our just shoot the shit and see what's relevant for the time.
Yeah, agreed. Which is uncomfortable for me. I'm a control freak, as Randi knows all too well. So I'm like, fuck, I don't know where we're going with this, but set the intention, open the Akashic records to see what comes through. So
it was funny because we were talking and we're like, what are we going to talk about? And then I was like, well, we can just shoot the shit and see what comes up. And the look on Kayla's face, like her eyes kind of got big and she's like,
Yeah. I am a Virgo moon, so there needs to be order and notes and organization. I mean, let's be honest, I don't bring notes, but I have to cue it up in my brain what's going to be discussed. So a little bit nervous, but I mean, I offer channeling spirit guides as a service, so I better figure this out.
Yeah.
Better gain some confidence in this area.
Oh shit. It better get you all ready.
Fuck. I know.
Jeez.
I was just talking about, it's like, Randi, I need a session. Fuck, I'm all screwed up over here. I don't know what happened. The new moon fucked me up. I don't know what's going on, but I have lost my sense of direction.
Yeah. What is with okay, so I feel maybe it's just all in my head. There's a very good chance of that. But I feel like I'm backwards to everybody. I feel like people with new moons are usually, they have such a good, it's like, oh, bringing in newness, and they have all these great things. And it's like, oh, I had such a good full moon ritual and I feel good about life. And it's like, what is that life for me? Because I have the most horrible time. And yet other people with full moons, it's like, I'm not sleeping, I'm grumpy, I don't know what's wrong, and around full moons. And I'm like
born on a full moon or something.
I don't know, but I'm just like, full moons are my jam. That's when because I should do new moon rituals, but if I'm going to do a ritual, let's be honest, it's going to be on the full moon.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Because new moons, and I don't know how to describe this energy. I'm going to do the best that I can. But it's like, the energy to me around a new moon feels scratchy. Just that uncomfortable, like if you're wearing a wool sweater and it's just scratches. Yeah. And it just, that's what it feels like for 3 days before and a couple days after a new moon for me.
Oh, that's not good.
I'm just uncomfortable and irritable and ugh! And then I usually figure out a couple days before, I'm like, oh, right. Mm-hmm. And then my dog gets really snaky. Ellie gets so annoying at a new moon. Not a full moon, just a new moon. It's like she gets really in your face and really needy.
Interesting. And my dog does that too. We've noticed it for the past couple of days. And we're like, what is this pup's problem? She just needs to be loved and held and pet. And she's not like that. She's very independent and fuck this. So
Ellie's come and keeps sticking her head underneath my arm and hits me as hard as she can with her head, hello, I'm right here. And I'm like, what is your problem?
And that's not helpful if you're already irritated. It's just get the fuck out of here.
Because I'm just tell me what you want, dog. Yeah. But yeah, if she's outside, if it's not windy, she'll be okay. But if she's inside, it's she has to be stuck to me.
Interesting. I wonder if she picks up on your vibes or something. Who knows? But yeah, the new moon's kind of I don't know if it's the new moon or what it is, but I just been really apathetic. I'm just kind of
who the fuck cares about life?
Yeah, kind of thing. And they're like, you should be writing your manifestations down, and it's a very powerful time. And I was like, oh, I just can't be bothered right now. I don't know what's going on, but
that's how I feel. Everyone, with their new moon stuff, it's oh yeah, it's a great time to bring in new things. And I'm like, I feel the opposite. I find, because full moons are releasing things that don't serve you anymore. And, letting go of things. And I feel like the new moon is the perfect time, or the full moon rather, to bring things in, at least for me personally.
Yeah.
So
I know, I'm really curious. I feel like you're born on a full moon or something.
I don't know.
Because like if you're born during Mercury retrograde, which I am, then when Mercury goes retrograde, it's actually like a more powerful time for you. And then when it's direct, it's kind of a little bit heavier. So it depends like when you've entered the world and how things will affect you. So I
am so curious to look that up now.
I feel like you can look it up. It's easy to find. You just gotta like.
If I had my phone in front of me, I would totally fucking check it right now.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, I feel like you probably were born on a full moon because you came into the world. It probably is a great time for you to manifest versus the opposite. That's kind of what I think is happening here. And you would be born on a full moon. 2/22 on a full moon, Randi enters the world.
That's like, right.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
We're the 2/22 bitches.
Yeah.
I've never met anybody else who had that birthday or that birth time.
Me neither. Fun fact, Randi and I were both born at 2:22 a.m.
Indeed.
Which is insane. I also have never met anybody born at that time. I don't know what the 222s mean, but I know the 2 is like the intuitive and the diplomat. Like the intuitive, like partial, like straddling the line. And then it's kind of funny we've come together and like done intuition. And then I feel like diplomat, I don't know what we do, but there's two sides. Randi and I definitely have way different perspectives and energies. Like even we've been trying to just like channel in what each of us is supposed to talk about, and they're like the polar opposite things. And we're like, oh, okay.
It's like, throw this together, bitches.
I know.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that's going to end up being a theme in the future, but we definitely have not navigated what that looks like right now.
It's probably just going to end up like we each have a topic to talk about one day and just see how it falls together.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. I don't know. I did a meditation today. I pulled cards. I was just all over the fucking place. And I'm like, give me something. Give me something. I mean, they gave me something, but it wasn't anything new that we hadn't already discussed or, so I was like, okay.
Clearly the collective theme is still like stepping into your fullness and like finding your authentic self, and like that it keeps coming up, and it's like we can't just rattle off 99 podcasts on the same topic. So we're like, let's just fucking wing it here, like see what comes through. But yeah, it's been interesting.
It has been interesting.
I feel like right now, timeline wise, like collectively, like I think this is how it felt to me like a couple months ago. It was kind of like time isn't real at all. It's like channels. So you can choose which layer of the timeline you're on based on the actions and focus that you have. So every time you make a new focus or new direction or new choice or new movement forward, you can shift your timelines and your outcomes. So I would say like January, February, my guides were very adamant that timelines were like nil. We kind of all were just like floating and like we don't know what's coming next. And it was a good message. It was kind of the message that humanity has been doing such an awesome job with their awakening and their healing that we've actually progressed timelines like really quickly. So nobody really knows what's coming next. So to me, to me, it felt like you toss a coin in the air and is it going to be heads or tails? And it was just sitting in the air forever and we're waiting for it to fall. So I feel like it's like fallen now, but we're needing to like integrate into this uncharted territory because it was faster than we expected. And suddenly it's kind of a path that we weren't like originally prepared to walk down. So it's kind of like
that's funny.
The unknown a little bit.
See, because what they show me, you know those old game shows, I guess, with the 3 doors.
Yes.
What's behind door number 1, door number 2, and door number 3? And it's like these 3 distinct timelines.
That sounds familiar. It's looking the same so far.
Yeah. And I'm just like, which one are you going to choose? Because it's like a choose your own adventure book.
Yes.
Move to page 25. Oops, you died.
Yes.
You have died of dysentery. But that's kind of the feel. And I feel like that's not quite settled yet.
Yes. That's you just described it way better than what I was talking about. So I think it was like, for me, what they were kind of telling me is like, people thought they were going to have 3 doors we were kind of estimating that humanity's evolution would look like this, and they're like, things have taken a new turn, and suddenly there's option door number 4.
Yeah.
And if you're someone who's looking at door number 4 right now, it's like the collective, or like the cosmos is trying to scatter to like put together what door number 4. It's like they're writing the story, you know. And it's like the book was designed with 3 outcomes. Now suddenly there's option number 4, and they're like writing it as you're going,
scrambling to finish the last chapter.
Yeah, how
of
the
this
fuck
book.
is this gonna end?
Yeah.
So anyone who picked door number 4, which I feel like it's probably many of you listening, this is probably why it's coming through, and like us, it's like kind of like we're just like, yeah, what the fuck are we doing here? It's like kind of confusing still, and we can't, like, I can really feel into a timeline, can't you? You kind of know what's coming a little bit.
Yes and no.
It
depends. It depends. On some, yes, I mean, on some level, yes, I understand kind of what you're talking about. But most of the time, I've reached this level, and maybe you have too, but it's like, I feel, okay, I'm going to fucking butcher this, but there's like, you know, there's like if there's a line, picture 2 lines, a line on top and a line underneath it. And it's like simultaneous, fuck, I'm butchering this already, kind of frequencies that I feel. And like the bottom is like life's timeline, right? It's kind of like do. But I feel like I know I'm aware of it, as if it was like a heartbeat, like the heartbeat frequency of the world. And it's like do. And I'm aware of it. And if I wanted to, I could go like do. Just because I know how it's supposed to go. But at the same time, I'm kind of at this top line that's disconnected. Yes. I can look down and be like, do, if I want to, but I'm like, eh.
You know? And actually, that's true, because we know a little bit more about like what we're doing as like light workers in this planet. And that's one of the things it said, that you're kind of like, you're in both, you're kind of like 1 foot in the real world and then 1 foot in the spirit world. So it's kind of like you kind of straddle the line and like bring that collective information. For me, I am definitely grounded on the earth plane, because I am helping people navigate the earth plane with so grounded, great. Deep karma, past lives, overcoming obstacles, and you're just like bridging the spiritual and yeah.
Because ever since, like, I started kind of feeling it before, but since that portal in December here, that conjunction, I have felt so not in this world.
Totally. I noticed that too.
Like
myself
at all. I feel very floaty, like I'm very disconnected. And so I find myself going, and this is one of the hardest parts, I think, of awakening for me, is dealing with, I don't mean this in a derogatory term. Like, I feel like this is going to come across so bad, but like dealing with the normies, you know, when you're resonating from a different frequency and you're operating from your third eye that's always open and you're seeing everything as it truly is, it can be frustrating because you're just like, how can you not see what's right in front of your face? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, and it's just that, and you know that you could scream and shout and tell everyone what you're seeing, and they'll tell you you're crazy. They're like, because they don't see it, right?
Yeah.
Because they're not open and they're not at that timeline. They're not at that frequency.
And I feel that like the divide is really happening. So for the people that have chosen timeline number 4, and it's kind of like, we're kind of feeling floaty a little bit. I don't want to say uncertain, but like what it feels like I can't like vibe into it. Like
disconnected.
It's like, I can't see what, it's like foggy. It's like you're walking the path and they're trying to write it as you go. And you're like, well, fuck, I can't prepare for this. So it feels very floaty and detached. But then it's like the normies. Let's just say it. Come on, guys. The normies.
You know we're going to have merch with this as normies.
Yeah. The normies are really struggling to choose between option door 1, 2, or 3. And it's kind of like the path is just splitting out. So the tolerance is so freaking low for people that are over here drowning. And which door do I take? And it's like, it's so hard. I'm feeling that detachment. And I'm sure you guys are too. It's just like, the stuff you could previously handle is just like straight bullshit now.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't even with my old friends or my family or this mundane bullshit. Like, I still like getting groceries and like running errands now.
Oh my God.
It makes me want to die.
The other day, like I could have, and of course, like that was me being triggered, and I had to tame my ego a little bit and have a little Zen moment in the line of the grocery store. But I was like, I can't handle this. I can't handle this mundane shit. And I had a really big, that day was a very big, like, I just want to go home day.
Like, go home to your planet.
Like, go home.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done with this bullshit. And I'm just like, fuck, no, because I don't want to come back. So get your shit together, you know? Yes. So I was like doing little pep talks where I'm like, why can't I just go home? Where it's like pure love all the time. Yeah. And I don't have to deal with any of this mundane stuff. Yes. And I can do good work from there too. Like,
I know. You know? I have been
psyching myself up.
Homesick, if you know what I'm saying. Like,
wink,
it's been so much. It's always been there, but it's something I could like tune myself out of. But now it's just like honestly constantly lingering.
And I'm sorry if you guys hear that background noise. That is a plane.
Yeah, like they don't normally fly this low. It's so random.
Right when we're talking about going home, it's kind of funny.
Hey, interesting.
But seriously, do you hear this?
Yes.
That is so loud.
It's super loud. We live in a really small town that doesn't even have airlines, so
like there's no international airport. And
so like where the fuck is that huge plane going?
Yeah, like
taking us home. Correct. Confirmation has been received. Do your fucking job here so we can all go the fuck home after this.
No doubt. So fun.
Yeah. Homesick for real. And I think that's one of the, when you talk about being in and out of both worlds right now, I feel like that's how it feels. So you feel like you're kind of like, you're not really rooted in like the grounded earth plane. You're not really like home and in the spiritual where it's all pure love all the time. You're somewhere in between, feeling really misplaced.
Yeah.
And homesick.
Very homesick.
Very homesick.
And just very, like, I just want happy and lovey and like, you know, I know I'm very gritty, raw, like, yeah. I swear a lot, as you've all noticed. You know, I'm the reason we have to have the explicit thing checked off. But I just feel like I just want that, like, love.
Yes.
You know, because I feel like even though I'm just kind of sup bitches kind of girl,
you still remember.
Oh, yeah. And I've really learned lately how to operate from that place. And I've worked really hard at it to operate from the heart space, like from heartfulness and mindfulness. So when other people don't do that, it's like, but it could be so much better if we did, you know?
I know. And if you ever have like, so one of the gifts that I've been bestowed, apparently, according to my Akashic record, is I have the ability.
Bestowed.
Yeah, bestowed. It's not helping me right now, but.
It's bestowed upon you.
Yeah,
I feel like we should be kneeling down and we should be knighting you. I actually have a sword.
Oh, perfect. Let's do
it. Follow us on Patreon. We'll do that.
My God,
Let us know. We will do that.
So funny. But is like my ability to recall my past lives or like my histories, because I'm the history keeper, right? Like one of the history keepers with the Akashic records. I can I can pull it and it's just getting stronger and stronger. Like I can remember my past lives like it was my life now. So I can remember home and spirit realm pretty well. Not the ones where I like the ones that had like they were physical. So that operating from that pure love place, like you won't necessarily know unless you can tap into it, but it's like pure like euphoria and support. And your energies kind of like meld together. So you don't have to explain yourself to somebody. They can feel you.
Yeah.
And I like miss being understood and supported in that way. And it sucks because then it's just like, it's like, I'm so frustrated by that. I'm like, I just want to go home and or like lay around in the dirt. Like the only place I feel happy is like in the trees or by the water. And I'm just like,
the water. I miss the water. Thank God that things are opening. Like the ice is off the water now.
Yes.
You can see it. It's so nice. But I feel, what was I going to say? We were talking about something.
That like euphoria, like that love, that support. You don't have to explain yourself.
Yes. So I think that's like the older I get and the more deep that I get. I hate the word enlightened, but I guess enlightened. You know, I find like, and again, we'll probably have to do a whole podcast on this, but like labels, really, I'm having a really hard time with them because when you're operating, like you say, you kind of just meld. There's no need for labels. There's no need for words.
Exactly.
There's like, because you just are.
Yeah.
Right.
And people can feel and see you for all that you are. So there's no need to be like, I'm enlightened. I'm a this kind of starseed. I'm a this kind of gifted person. You just are what you are, and everybody else can perceive it. So now that you say that, it's like no fucking wonder we're so triggered by labels and boxes, because it's like you can never put yourself in one of them.
Yeah, never. And it's like, so the other day, sometimes I feel like I'm being a bitch, but I'm not. I'm trying to like make this same point so that people can kind of know what that feels like. And it's like, I feel like we rely so much on labels. Like, I am a mom, I am a this, and I do this for a career, and I have these qualities, I am these things. And it's just so unnecessary, you know? And I feel like whenever people post on Instagram, it's like, finish the sentence. I am, because I've seen this a lot lately. It must be a trend. Yeah, I am. Put your 5 top things, and it'd be like, I'm grateful. I'm this. I am that, and I am a. You know, and I always comment, no, you're not. You are. Nothing after it.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to label anything. Just I am. That's what I honestly, if we were doing merch, that's what I just want on there. I am.
If you guys just like heard that and felt into the power, like as soon as Randy said that, I was like, fuck, that's like super liberating. And like, there's just like a power that emanates when you just say, I am.
I am. Period.
Yes, totally. And that comes up sometimes, not in my, like in my readings, obviously there's like energies that I'll tell you that you hold, but sometimes people ask me, how come you're not telling me like what kind of job I should pursue? What kind of job do you want to pursue? Because there's like literally no limits on what you can do with your energies or your gifts, as long as you're doing it for the right reasons and it's not out of ego or like,
this is going to make me the most money.
Yeah. So that's one of my favorite things about the way that I was like kind of instructed. Even my original instructor, before I even got into some of the stuff I'm doing now, that was a main thing. Like, people have the power to do whatever the fuck that they want because they are whatever the fuck they want to be. And it's like, we need to just like really dissect labels and boxes and categories, because it's honestly like the biggest problem. And I see it in my own life.
Yeah. I know people, like, I've had conversations with people about this, and like adamant conversations, and people disagree with me and tell me that I'm wrong.
Interesting.
Well, not necessarily that I'm wrong. Maybe not. That's not the right way to say it. But they're like, but it's to understand yourself better. And I'm like, no, you don't need that. You don't need to label yourself to understand yourself better.
Yeah.
Why do you need if you, again, operating from a space of heartfulness, this is going to be all about heartfulness today. If you operate from that space of pure love, heartfulness, right? And take your mind out of it, because your mind is what gives you the labels. Your heart just feels it. So you don't need to say, I am this, because you just are. People will know, right? Instead, it's like, we've been conditioned again. I am this type of personality according to the Myers-Briggs test. I am this. I am, like you say, this kind of starseed. I am that. I am this. These are my gifts. I have to do it this way. And no, there's no rules.
Yeah.
If it comes from a place of love and alignment, why label it? It just is.
Exactly. And I feel that people, like, I feel sometimes people use labels for like ego-based intentions. Like they really want to be called that. But then I also see people using labels just because they feel so misunderstood that they want to be like, here I am, I'm right here. And it's like more of like it's still kind of an ego thing, but it's like a more like wounded ego thing versus like a proud, like boisterous ego thing. But like,
either way, it's ego.
Yeah, either way, it's like, it's just not helpful. And I mean, I am an endlessly curious person. So let's just use like star seeds, for example.
Yeah.
Like you can be like, I'm from Andromeda. I'm from Orion. I'm from, you know, like Arcturus. And there's all these different boxes. But like, no, we can do and be anything. You may hold a little bit of characteristics or traits from a certain place, but you're really everything. You've really been everywhere. You've done everything. You resonate a little bit closer to one group versus another. But I read my own Akashic records, and again, I can pull my memories really well, which is how this whole thing started. I've seen somewhere that I've lived, and I did a reading with someone else, and they're like, you're from this other planetary system as well. And I was like, you know, my original instinct would have been to fight that. Be like, I can't remember it there. You know what I mean? But then it's like, when I started looking into the characteristics, it's like, of course I fucking embody some of those things. And it's like, stop putting yourself in a box. Because once you close yourself in on that, you've like, I am this and that's all.
Mm-hmm.
And you like shut down some of your other gifts and memories and energies.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, I'm this, and you box yourself in, and you won't allow yourself to be anything else. Again, back to the confirmation bias.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to see anything except for this. This is what I've decided that I am.
Yeah. But when you actually just like deconstruct that, it's like, why don't you want to be both? Why don't you want to be the best of both worlds or all the worlds? You know, where it's like, we're like, let's just be honest, 90% of you listening to this are probably starseeds.
Probably.
So it's kind of like, why don't you want to be the best embodiment of each of the places you've been?
Oh, totally.
Versus just like, I'm this and that's only it.
Yeah.
Or even in any case, it doesn't have to be about starseeds. It could be about literally anything.
Exactly.
Why do you just want to be the best embodiment of a mother or a father or a wife or a husband or a leader or
a doctor, a lawyer?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's unnecessary.
Yeah. And when we put ourselves in that streamlined category, you see how like you spend all of your time trying to conquer one thing when it's like, you're so much more than that.
Totally. 100% much more. Anyway, we're back from a wee bit of a break. And so during this little break we had, just to go back to the beginning of what we were talking about. So for shits and giggles, I did, in case any of you were wondering, I looked up what moon phase it was when I was born, and I was born on a waxing gibbous. So it's like halfway between half and a full moon, and, you know, getting larger. And Kayla
did the same thing just to see. You know, I was like, well, Randi knows, I better know too. Same.
Yeah. So we were both born on a waxing gibbous moon at 2:22 in the morning.
That's really fucked up.
Yeah. And
Could this connection be any more divine? I don't know.
Yeah. And you were born in April.
Yeah.
And I was born in August, the 2 A's.
Yes. Yeah. And did you know that Leo and Aries are like super compatible signs?
Totally.
What's your rising again? Or your
Aquarius.
Moon, or your moon.
My moon? Or no, I'm an Aquarius moon and a Cancer rising.
Right. I am a Virgo moon and a Capricorn rising.
Oh my God.
Which after Aries, I don't know much else about what's compatible, but
that's funny.
Seems like this connection and collaboration is divine.
Absolutely. I like how we're like, you don't need labels. And it's like, I'm an Aquarius moon.
Yeah, that's so funny. And then here we are, like, I'm saying these things, they're coming out of my mouth, but it's not that I know what any of it really means.
Yeah, right? Hashtag not astrologers.
No doubt. It's fascinating, though.
It is.
It's definitely, like, a nice way to, like, understand yourself deeper. But it's only a piece of you, not all of you.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, like, I used to be super interested in stuff like that. And again, I'm just finding myself pulling away from that kind of stuff more and more and more. I find it fascinating. But at the same time, I'm like, I just am. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. That's a really, like, healthy place to be, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's, like, going to arise in spirituality, like, very much labels and boxes and categories. And, like, I think the purpose of those tools, like including the Akashic records, is to help point you in the right direction.
Yeah.
But definitely not case you in. So, like, watch out for that. Because even in some of, like, the channel that I've done from the Akashic records, we're not here to understand ourselves. like Randy said, we know exactly what we are at soul level. We know everything as a soul. We're here to experience and feel and explore. So it's very much
remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember who we are and then create the life that we want to see for ourselves. And like I said, there's really no boundaries. So don't box yourself into really what anyone tells you.
Same thing with the belief systems.
Yes.
Kind of all ties in, right?
Yeah.
It's limiting beliefs are nothing but boxing you in another way, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Because
watch out for the boxes. They're not going to help you.
Yeah. We are limitless after all.
Exactly.
You just know there's people listening to this going, bullshit, bitches. It's needed. And how do you operate otherwise? I can just hear it. It's like, I disagree with this. But that's okay.
But it's so freeing to think of it the other way. And it's like, I've even watched my own progression where I would have been like, when I first read the Akashic Records, I was so rigid. So who would have ever thought Kayla being rigid? Oh my God.
Rigid and rigid. No, just kidding.
Seriously. So like so rigid. This is who I am to a T. I can't deviate from these boxes or life won't work out. And then it's like, as you grow and evolve and like gather more information and intel, that I am really comes in and you're just like, fuck it all.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have insights too. I'm not going to like work myself out of a job, but or talk myself out of a job here. But
no, I mean, but here's the thing. Here we go again, guys. We are having a human experience. And one of the things humans do is label.
And categorize and organize and yeah.
So we're not saying that it's never going to happen. And that's fine. But just be aware of how much you're doing it.
And having a human experience, something is I have to start reminding myself of, because we were talking about that homesickness kind of creeping in and like making me just feel like everything's so heavy and I don't want to deal with this and I don't want to get groceries. And it's like, hey, I came here to have a human experience. Like be grateful for like what this humanness is doing for my journey. Because it's just like so easy to forget.
Oh, so fucking easy to forget.
Yeah. Like me thinking about being a human is making me tired. And then Randy just yawned and I'm like, oh man, that's how it feels right now. Like it's just dense as fuck.
The whole, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it feels like, and it could just be me like having a new moon hangover because it was just the other day, but I feel like right now the energy globally is fucking heavy.
Yes.
Like it's just like, ugh. And I'm back with the grunting this week.
So funny. And when we like look back a few months, it's like you think in theory it should have been heavier then, but it feels so heavy right now. Let us know if you're feeling the heavy energy because fuck, I'd love to know. I'm just like, I'm just like, I can't get to my routines. Like me showing up for work is about the gist of what I can accomplish right now.
Totally.
And like, normally my spirit guides nag the shit out of me to do better, to get this done. And they've kind of like left me alone a little bit. And I'm like, there must be something going on because they're not harassing me and calling me out on all my failures.
No, I feel like, I don't know.
They're really just letting it happen.
If I'm going back to the trends when I did my 2021, like the 2021 year ahead readings, May and June were heavy months. Particularly the end part of May and like into June is like in like everybody's readings, it seemed like, except for the odd one, it was like very, very heavy. And about like, it just feels, and it feels like this to me, but it feels like shit, something's gonna go fucking sideways really fucking quick. Like it's like a dam's gonna break. That's the best way I can describe it. It's like, you know how there's water like builds up behind a dam and there's like that kind of pressure and it's just heavy and like, something's got to give here. That's what it feels like to me. But I could be, again, a little bit crazy over here.
No, that makes sense. And then, you know, when you're saying that, it makes me wonder about like the current events going on and like, you know, everybody lining up for like shots and stuff like that. I'm like, I wonder if that is making the energy feel really dense.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Who knows? I just feel like there's a lot of like hate going on right now.
People fighting each other.
Yeah, a lot of like internal bickering, like a constant butting of heads.
That makes sense. And I feel like it's hard. Like, I don't see it in my personal world because, like, we kind of talked about, I'm grounded in earth plane, but, like, I've chosen door 4. So I'm still, like, separating out in that divide. So it's, like, it's hard for me to, like, pull real life examples of this happening because I'm not really grounded in it anymore. But I think collectively, people are, like, us versus, like, the separating of the two people fighting it out.
Yeah. And I just, like, I think that's one of the things that I'm just, like, I'm so floating above it, but it's like I can watch it and I'm like, this is unnecessary. You know? And I just feel like, but I just feel like something's gonna happen that's gonna lighten that up.
Yeah, because it does feel like it's supposed to get lighter soon. It's just like this is like the dark before the dawn.
Yeah.
So
it's always darkest before the dawn, as that quote goes.
So I'm hoping that it's like it does feel like collective heaviness because I don't think there's any like legitimate reason why I should be so blah.
Because everything's fucking going great right now. Like
things are flowing over here. I just can't muster the energy to like do much else.
Yeah. But I mean, who knows? Who knows? I've asked my guides, but I think they knew I was kind of hesitant and didn't really want to know
what's coming.
Yes. I've asked, but I'm like, but don't tell me.
Right.
You know, I'm like, you know what? I just don't even want to know because they'll tell me. If I genuinely ask, they'll fucking tell me.
Oh my
but I don't want to know.
My vision that just came through was like someone grabbing a curtain and just like wide open. And I'm like, oh no,
like we can't shower do that. Curtain when you're showering. It's like, I'm not ready.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's not good.
But it'll be fine, I think. I just don't want to know.
Yeah.
I just don't want to know.
Yikes. The unveiling. The revealing. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Buckle in, everybody.
I'll just chill out where I am.
Yeah. Interesting few weeks, I guess. But just to note, like, it's all in divine timing.
Totally.
Like, within, like, in the Akashic records, it's like I try to keep track of timelines, and I think that's why I'm so frustrated, because I don't know what the fuck's going on right now.
It's like, I don't know. What fucking door are we opening today?
Yes, exactly. So it's all in divine timing. Like, it's just happening as it needs to unfold. So, like, as things do come to light, or as, you know, the heavy collective energies, just, like, look at it and be like, this is the tower moment for humanity. Like,
that's exactly what it feels like.
Yeah.
It's teetering.
Yes. But, you know, the tower can be like a welcome sight. If the things that were going on aren't working anyway, like, fuck, let's destroy and rebuild.
I know. People get so, like, when I pull the tower in people's readings, and, like, honestly, there was a good month and a half last year, and I go through cycles of a month and a half where I would pull the fucking tower card for myself every single day. And I actually, I have 4 favorite cards in the tarot deck, and that is one of them.
Nice. What other ones are there?
So
I'm curious.
The Fool, the High Priestess, the Death card, and the Tower card.
Nice.
Those are my jam.
Nice.
Yeah. And I am a little partial also to the 4 of Swords, but nice. I love me. I love me the Death card. I love the Tower, and the High Priestess is my gal, and the Fool is always a great card to get.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's true. Those are good cards.
Yeah.
Wish I knew more about the tarot. I'm like one of those, like, I feel like I am, like, pretty, like, raw and real, but I also am, like, I don't know how you describe me. I've been called, like, a pixie before. Like, it's like I'm, like, dancing around things, and I'm like, oh, it's scary in there. I don't want to stay on this side. So I, like, dance around the tarot very gently. I'm like, I understand you, and I need you, but, like, you're kind of, like, ominous. And I've also been told it's because I'm like, let's be honest, I'm fucking naive, you guys, when it comes to, like, tapping into, like, what's proper. And I can't go too much into the wells of the dark, deep caves, or I will get sucked in and lost. But one of the reasons for that is that I operate from a place of like pure intentions. So when other people don't have pure intentions, I can't see it coming because I would never do that. So it's like obviously a really beautiful gift, but fuck, do I get myself into some goddamn trouble with that?
I can see that. And I just tell hard truths all day long.
Yes.
In a nice way.
It's like maybe this is the collaboration I needed because otherwise Kayla could have got herself into some real bullshit probably. And Randy's here to be like, nope.
And course correct.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Things are going to be interesting, I think. I think it's going to be a very interesting summer.
I hope it's a little bit lighter because I'd like to enjoy some of my summer.
I feel like, okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing with door number 4, if we're referring to door number 4. Hold on. They're talking to me, so I gotta... It's like, if you chose that door, you're gonna have... You might be a bit draining, but like, it's not... Again, think of the 2 lines. We're operating up here, where you can feel the little heartbeat. You know what's going on, but you're not really in it.
Yes.
That's door number 4.
And with door number 4, they're saying like you have control over the outcome. So it's like if you want to choose to look down below and see the heartbeat fluttering around, you can go ahead and do that. But if you want to ignore it and transcend, you have the ability to do that.
Yeah. Like you can walk on either line.
Yeah.
Right.
You're in control. They're just like, you're in control. You're in control.
Which is good because
door number 4.
I have a feeling like those of us listening, this is going to be a very, and again, when I did my 2021 reading, same thing came up over and over. This is going to be a very important time for people like us, for the light workers, okay? Because humanity is going to go a little bit sideways and people are going to feel a little bit lost, right? Kind of like, that feeling of like when you're completely blindsided and the rug gets swept out from underneath you. It's that kind of energy in and around. And there's going to be things that people are like, well, and it could just be a mass awakening where people are like, oh, because we all know what that's like. Fuck.
The veil, the curtain. And everybody, look at this. There's way more than meets the eye.
What? Am I going crazy or what's happening? That part of an awakening. I just feel like that's kind of the energy.
Like humanity's dark night of the souls coming.
Yeah.
So that's why the light workers have been forced to do that earlier, as of late.
Yeah.
Because it's like we're going to be, like you included, everyone on the other end of this, is going to be the people that keep the calm for everyone else. Yes. So we've already been here. You come out the other side. It's not new information. We've known.
Yeah, we get what you're going through.
Yes, and we'll just. I'm seeing like we're gonna hold the calm energy because we've done it already.
Yeah.
So you may be like an actual spiritual advisor or counselor or healer or whatever the hell, but you also might just be the only person in your circle or your family that knows what the fuck's going on.
Who's been through it, and it's like, okay, guys.
Yes.
It's totes normal.
Yeah.
And
then they'll be like confused about some of the things they're seeing or going through. And then you're able to be like, the third eye activation, or it's the dark night of the soul, or like, you're going to get through it. Just keep going.
Yeah. I feel like there's going to be a mass awakening, but it's going to be very sudden. Like, how sometimes some people awaken like overnight and it's like, holy fuck. And then some people gradually kind of wake up and it's like, oh, and it sucks still, but it's not quite as intense.
Yes.
I just feel like, I don't know, something's going to happen and it's going to be like a boom.
Yeah.
Hello.
And they're showing pictures of dominoes right now. And like the light workers of the dominoes that were tipped over like fucking a couple years ago. And right now we're about to hit like the big patch. It's like they're like a single file domino effect. And that was the light workers. And then we're about to hit like the massive pile of dominoes. And it's going to like flip all this shit. And then the people that were up here that got tipped a long time ago, and it's kind of a slower process, are going to be like the frontiers.
Yeah.
The frontiers of the mass awakening or whatever the fuck is going to happen.
The kings of the wild frontier. Yeah, that's what it feels like though. It feels like it's gonna be shitty for a while. Not necessarily for us though.
Yeah. But I see what you mean about that draining, heavy energy, because now I'm wondering, like, I'm kind of feeling like some people might be forced, like, starting to tip in that domino effect, but they're, like, really hanging on for dear life, and then eventually their, like, grasp is going to fall, and they have to, like, look at the truth of the matter for a minute.
As the pole they're holding onto is
tipping over as well.
I love how you followed what I was doing. Both of us were like, we're going to
Oh god.
awesome.
So it's going to be draining because the collective energy is going to be really heavy,
but it's going to be so good in the long run.
Because you know what? All of us crazy people are going to be fucking validated for once.
Yeah, it's like, oh, look at them.
Instead of the person at the family dinner who's like, please shut the fuck up, they're going to be, please enlighten us for a moment.
Okay, so like,
what is life?
What? So like, these aren't just rocks around your house? Like, what does this actually do?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Oh, God.
Yeah, my dad. I think it was my dad who used to always tell me, you have rocks in your head for having so many rocks, you know? And I'm just oh my God, Dad.
Did you have rocks even as a child?
Oh, I used to collect rocks all the time.
Fuck, you would.
I would. My pet rocks all the time.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Just reminds me of your hypnosis session. We've talked about it before, where Randy's the keeper of the amethyst wall.
Yeah.
Like, of course you would be.
Where they encoded me with my healing properties.
No wonder you've always been drawn to rocks.
No wonder, hey? My little witchy heart just needed it. But yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, love it.
I used to collect rocks too, but it wasn't, I don't think, in the same caliber.
They like meant something to me. They were like...
I was just like, ooh, shiny rock. Yeah, that's kind of mine. Might have been older. I feel like I was like an adult when I was collecting rocks, so maybe I was more enlightened at the time.
Yeah, who knows? It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. So what do you feel you need, though? Like right now? What do you feel you need?
A break.
A break. What would that entail?
Probably like no schedule and no calendar. And just like feeling more into that like moment to moment stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, like, do I want to be here or do I want to be there? Yeah. Do I want to sleep? Do I want to lay in the grass? Do I want to go visit somebody? Like, I just feel like it's not that I've been overworked, because I've done a good job at holding, like trying to create a better calendar for myself, and it's worked wonders. But it's just like when you're kind of drained or that heavy energy, like I don't know what the issue is, but there's some sort of like healing. Like I need to like take time to like recover and like bring my energy back in. And I feel like I haven't had a lot of like time or motivation to spend that with myself. So I do have a break coming up. I'm off for the first week of June and I don't have very many plans. So I think I'm going to just call my energy back in and like reevaluate my focus and I feel like that's what I need right now. It's just like call the energy back in and like put myself back together. It's been like stretched a little bit too all over the place. And I created that mess. I fucking created that mess hard, but it's like, it's gotta be a better way.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, what about you?
I don't know. That's just it. I don't know. Honestly, I think it's alone time. Mm-hmm. Like if I could go away and just be by some water by myself.
That's actually what I'm doing the first week of June.
Oh, I hate you. But that's what I need.
I'm taking my sister though. I'm taking my sister,
well, that's not
but
alone.
She doesn't. It's not really alone, but she doesn't really count. We're like the same person. We always want the exact same thing. So it's like, if you want to be alone, it's just like, whoop. Like, so it's not really alone.
Yeah. I mean, that would be like traveling with my husband too, but at the same time, I don't know. I think
partners are different.
I'm just like so in tune to like so sensitive.
Yes.
To other people's energies.
And I feel like you constantly hear the chatter and you need to just like quiet the mind.
Because even when like my mom and I, like you're describing with you and your sister, that's like my mom and I, we're kind of the same person, right. And it's totally fine. But even that sometimes it's like
that's true. I see what you're saying.
You know, it's just not the same.
I do like alone time. I think my sister trip will be good. I feel like it'll be like what I need.
But yeah, everyone's like, what are you doing for your birthday?
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, hopefully spending it the fuck by myself.
It's so hard to explain that to people.
But like I get funny looks because it's like, oh, this is a big birthday for you. And I'm like, what is your point?
It's so hard to explain to people why you want to be alone. And like my partner is one of them. Like
I think Keith, after 11 years, finally gets it.
The grandest offense when I'm like, please just stop talking to me. And like, let me just lay in my dark room and watch Schitt's Creek for the 15th time.
Oh my God, right? I'm
fucking best show ever.
Back on season 6.
I watched it like 3 times. No, I watched it 2 or 3 times, like literally back to back. As soon as I closed out, I started it again. And then I was like, I should probably find something else to watch. And then nothing made me laugh quite the same. So we're on round 4 now.
Nice. Who's your favorite?
David.
I love David, but I love Moira.
Okay, yes. Honestly, she's the shit. She's a close second.
I feel like I am a very good combo of like David's sarcastic whatever with Moira's like showmanship.
Yes. Honestly, yes.
But I can tell I've been watching it a lot because I've been doing the Alexis mannerisms like nobody's business. I find myself doing this, like the head thing.
Yeah.
And I did that with the other day with Keith and I was like, what? And I was like, oh my God. It's time to take a break.
Oh, that's so funny.
And I was singing the Alexis song the other day and I could not get it out of my head.
Oh my God. I love that show. It never ends. It never like
I was scooping the litter box going, la, 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 la. A little bit Alexis. This is too much. Stop it.
Oh my God, that fucking show is so good. I'm sure you've all seen Schitt's Creek, but if you haven't, it's a must.
And it's on Netflix, and go watch it. But I don't know. It makes me giggle so much.
It's just so good.
Yeah.
I love David. I wish he was my friend.
I know. I feel like when I was
sarcasm and humor in my life.
When I was younger, I felt like I was totally Stevie.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
That kind of like angsty, like that was me in my early to mid 20s. I feel like that dark kind of. Yeah, that was me.
Totally, I could see that. I don't think there's any character on there that particularly would embody how I was when I was younger.
You weren't a little bit Stevie? I feel like you'd be like a happy
I would be Stevie that didn't say anything ever. Like silent Stevie. I definitely went through an emo phase where I wore all black and I had short hair, a lip ring, and dark eyeliner.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, you can, but I'm trying to picture this.
Seriously, you guys, if you've seen our new logo, like this is me now. And I'm like, I like want to dress up and like have long hair and like be pretty. And when I was a fucking teenager, I was the most emo kid ever. And my mom said to me, she's like, I really wish you'd stop wearing so much black. But I wasn't a goth. I was like a punk kid.
Nice.
Like this, like went to like mosh pits and like threw down.
I was thin back then, and my mom used to tell me that I should wear black because it's slimming.
Oh, our parents.
But I don't think it was like in that way of like you're fat. It was just in her mind, like black was like
right
in her reality. She's like, okay, I got to dress in black because it's thinning.
No, I used to wear like, like fucking plaid. I'm going to bring a photo. Okay. If you're on the Patreon, maybe you'll get a glimpse of it.
Yes. I should find some old photos. I used to have like, oh my God. It changed by the week. But
so like weird. I don't think there's a lot of pictures from that time frame because I don't think anyone in my family wanted to document it either. And I've never been a photo girl, so we'll see what we can do.
Back when I was younger, I was all about the photos. I used to wear...
Remember, you were a model in your past life.
That's true. See, yeah. I'll get there again. But I used to like wear this button-up rayon fucking yellow shirt with and remember, I'm scared of fish, but it was a bunch of like fucking fish on it.
I forgot you're afraid of fish.
And then I also had a t-shirt, like, you know those baby tees? Those like fitted baby tees of the early 2000s,
yes.
Late 90s. I had that and it was like pictures of real goldfish on it. And I could wear that for whatever reason. And that was like my little candy raver phase, I think. Fuck, it was rough.
Oh my God, that is too funny.
I've been through fucking it all.
Yeah. Oh my God, I remember going to a rave when I was in high school. Can you fucking imagine?
When you were in high school?
High school. Oh, wow. Who let us into those places?
I know.
Like, that's probably grade 12, but still, like, what the fuck was I doing at a rave?
Right?
Ugh. It just gives me the most cringy vibes. My whole body starts to, like, vibrate and not in a good way. It's like, ugh.
I think I was 20 when I went to my first one.
Cringy.
And I didn't go to very many.
I think I went to that one and that only one, but what the fuck was I doing?
Any shit. Moving on.
Yeah. Past life, past timeline that I didn't want to go down. So
holy fuck.
Thank God we've jumped that.
Whoa.
What? You're
sorry. I just had a total deja vu of this exact moment.
Whoa.
Exact moment of what you just said, the timeline. Oh, fuck, that's a mind fuck.
Yeah, what the hell? And you just looked at me out of sheer what the fuck, and I was like, oh my God, is something behind me? What's going on?
No, I hate that when that happens because I'm like.
It's always the most mundane moment. So you're like, what does that mean?
Yeah, and I'm like, we've literally had this conversation before.
Weird.
Probably in a different timeline.
Speaking of timeline jumps, yeah, no doubt.
Fuck.
We've already done this,
creepy.
yeah.
That was creepy. Makes me all weirded out. Anyway, no, so we actually, it's funny because you and I think Jen was there, and maybe Marcy was there too, right? When we did that?
I think so, yeah.
So we did a quantum leap, basically, a jumping of timelines. This was back, I don't know, I want to say November.
Yeah.
And, well, fucked if it didn't work.
Yep.
Tell them your experience.
So we did this little ritual thing where it's with the 2-cup manifestation, right?
Yeah.
And you have your glass and you put the intention into the water of what you want to create, and then you pour it into the other cup, and then you love it up and intake it or whatever. And I remember just asking for certain things. And one was a vacation fund. I was like, I just really want to travel as soon as we're permitted to do so. And I was like, I need more money in that savings account. And honest to fuck you guys, the next couple of weeks I ran a sale and I made exactly what I would have considered a travel fund in 24 hours, I'm pretty sure. And I was like, whoa. And we definitely jumped timelines because after that, everything shifted for me. Mm-hmm. It just started becoming way easier and way more fluid. And it was cool because you did it in a group. Yeah. So you're pulling in the energy of everybody to hone into it. It was really cool.
It was really cool
experience. And I noticed I'm despite what it might seem I'm actually fairly logical and practical and grounded. So I don't know if I believe anything until I can see and feel into it. And it was just boom.
Yeah, it felt different. And I didn't notice it right away.
Oh, yeah. It took a couple days or a couple weeks even.
Even a couple weeks. But then all of a sudden it hit me whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Where did this abundance come from? Whoa. I'm pulling in the people that I asked for, the type of clients I asked for. Mm-hmm. It was this crazy... It was just cool because it was exactly what I asked for, mm-hmm. without having any preconceived notions of what it was going to look like.
And it happens, it kind of comes in a wave. So it's not oh, there's one good client or one person that I called in. It's it was a lot, mm-hmm. consecutively. And you were all right, this is way beyond coincidence here.
Totally. So that was back in November. So that was 6 months ago. So we're going to do it again on the full moon.
Yeah.
Which is when, the 26th, I think?
Yeah, it's close to the end of the month.
Yeah.
I forget.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the 25th, 26th, somewhere in there. Watch is probably the 29th, and I'm just making shit up. Well, we can look it up. It's fine.
Yeah.
But so what we're going to do is, Kayla and I feel we're pumping this so much, and we're not salespeople. I feel it's uncomfortable. But we've decided that on the full moon, we are actually going to do, it's most likely going to be a live stream, mm-hmm. on our Patreon, for our Patreon, and we are going to perform this ritual again. So if you're interested in doing it with us, and the more there are, the more we can pull in, the more our energy jumps, right? So we can,
and it is the 26th, and isn't an eclipse too?
Yes, I was going to get to that. It is a lunar eclipse. So like it's already, and I think it's a super moon too, which means it's like closer to the earth.
Ooh la la.
So it's like a super powerful moon. So we're going to take advantage of that. And we are going to do the same 2-cup method. So we'll like a day or two before, we'll make sure that we put on Patreon. Here's what you need. Here's the instructions. And then we'll go over it again really quick during the live stream too. And then we can perform it together. It's not very long. It doesn't take that long.
No.
But it takes a little bit of thinking beforehand of what you really want to bring in.
Yeah.
So if you want to join that with us and like boost the energy and have a little full moon ritual with us, then join us on Patreon.
Yes.
It's going to be
I'm
so
excited.
fun.
I know. And it was really powerful last time. And like I said, I'm kind of like, I'd use the moon cycles for like manifestation, but I don't feel like as called to them as some people do. So I'm kind of like, let's just give it a whirl. I was like, sure, why not kind of thing. And I was like, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
So see for yourself, check it out with us.
Yeah.
And again, like you can do this in the privacy of your own life, but if you're all these collective of like other light workers and powerhouses, like, well, let's just do it together.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just because we're live streaming, our energy still works with each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we don't have to be sitting side by side.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Actually, one of the things that we actually got a question about that.
Yes.
Hey, about how do you do readings and stuff like that when you're not in person?
Yeah. I feel it's going to be different for you than it is for
Well,
me.
what is it for you?
So I'm reading the Akashic Records. It's a giant database in the sky. So like I'm just like literally, if I could give you the best thing to compare it to, it looks like a giant internet and you're going to give me your birth information and I like type it in and I'm like, do I have access to the record of Randi? Yes or no. And then if I have access, it's just like the whole screen just like flops down and I can just see what's relevant. I can't like read it. It's like, imagine if you're looking at something in like hieroglyphics that you don't know what they say. Like that's kind of how it looks to me. So I have to just like go and seek the specific information that is relevant to you and your higher self feeds it to me. And I just repeat it to you. So I can access your Akashic record from literally any place in the world. And I never have to tap into your physical present energy. So I'm reading your database and then I'm going to speak it to you. So I can do it anywhere, anytime, can record it back to you. But I do notice though, if the world's really chaotic, it's like it's even more jumbled. So around Christmas, people go fucking insane on our planet. And I just get like really chaotic nonsense. So I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be reading for people as much in Christmas or tell people to like sit still when I'm doing their reading around Christmas. Cause I don't know, it just gets like real like vibrating and you're just like, what the fuck am I looking at?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, you know what? It's not super different, I guess. Yeah. Okay, here's the thing. Let's get really woo-woo-y here for a minute.
I was hoping you were going to say this. I know where you're going. Break it down.
Break it down. So it's think of it as the law of one. Okay?
Yes.
We are all connected. We're all energy. You're connected to this table here. You're connected to this microphone. You're connected to my pen. Kayla, the lamps, the whatever, the house that you're in, the trees, the wind. Like it's all energy in different forms. Okay. So literally, we are all made of the same. Oh, my hands are vibrating.
Ooh,
I can feel that. We are all the same thing. So therefore,
and this is like grade 5 science class, you guys.
Yeah.
We're all made of the same matter, vibrating and
different
convoluting in different frequencies.
So there you go. We are all the same. Therefore, we are all connected, right? We tend to forget that. And I think that's part of the label problem I have too, is it keeps us separated when really it doesn't matter because we're all the same, right? Literally everybody's equal. We're all the exact same. So it's no different tapping into that energy, knowing that. It's just, what does that energy feel like?
Exactly. So I can read the Akashic record for this table and figure out when it was, wood or paper.
Yeah.
Like, because it's all the same stuff. So being incarnated on planet Earth, one of the lessons here is like the illusion of separation.
Yeah.
That's one of the karmic.
And individuality. Yeah.
When really we're all one. Like we're all connected. So I can tap into any kind of energy I want to by just like, for me, it's setting the intention.
Me too, yeah.
So I just need this specific detail. For me, it's like specific details. The wood table on the second floor of 333 27th Street.
Yeah.
You know, in the far left corner northeast. Like
totally. And that's why I like to get full names and dates of birth.
Yeah, me too.
You know, and if I can get a picture, great, because it's just easier for me to like have that visual.
Yeah.
Do I need it? No.
Yeah.
Right? It's all the intention of, and it when people contact me, whether they realize it or not, I get their energy.
Mm-hmm.
They type that email, they ask that question, and you can totally get a feel for the energy right there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just easier to go in. I am looking for Kayla, born this day, yada, yada. Oh, there it is. And it's like the stupidest analogy ever. But it's like, they're showing me like fiber optic cable lines all the time, right? Mm-hmm. Like there's a bunch of tiny little strands, but it's all the same thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. And it's going through each individual tiny little strand, picking the right one, and there we go.
Yeah.
So thank you for whoever asked that question. So Kristen. Thank you, Kristen, for asking that question. Hopefully that's a good enough answer for you. But it really makes no difference whether the person's in front of me or across the world. And
to be completely honest with you, when I'm sitting, especially like in person, when I used to do that once upon a time, I was so fucking nervous because someone's sitting right there. I honestly was shittier at channeling information because then my like nerves got in the way. So when I'm just like sitting in my room channeling your energy, like fuck, it's like so much clearer to me because I'm not like watching you watch me figure it out. Which is why I actually prepare most of my sessions before I even chat with the person. So when I actually speak with someone, it's like I've already gathered the intel because then I don't have to like have that extra pressure, if you will, because it actually screws me up more.
Yeah. I that's why I prefer doing readings.
Yeah, like
that way. Well, and I really like doing distance healing sessions too, because it like
the pressure's not there.
Well, it's not. I don't even feel pressure about it.
It's pressure.
It's the interruption of the energy, right?
Yeah,
because people are sitting there vibrating at whatever's happening with them that day, not meaning to. It's not like they're coming and going, you know.
Yeah.
But I can tell when somebody walks in and they're anxious and never had it done before.
Yeah.
You know, there's like that buzzy kind of energy, and I'm like, it's like I got to fish through that first to get streamlined.
Yes. Zoom, like when I do Zoom calls or phone calls, it's usually like okay, like that I can navigate that pretty well. But in person, the main vibe people give to me is as soon as they see me, because like, you know, I'm younger and like I'm a little bit eclectic, like people are just like, you're gonna fucking tell me about who I am, let's see this. And I have to like fight through their ego. But I notice if they're not in person with me, they don't give me that. Like Zoom, it's like there's some sort of like distance where they can't like see or they can't feel my energy as well or something. I don't know. But like I feel, and maybe it was early on in my career because like I'd
be curious to see if you did it now.
I hope not. I think I have more confidence now that it wouldn't like take me as long to sift through someone's ego.
Yeah.
But
it could, but that's also your ego saying that too.
Yes.
It's like a little battle of the egos.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm really like, that bothers me. Like I'm giving you the respect, you should give me the respect. So I know that I have that. So then I do battle their ego. And then I just shut down. I'm like, I don't even want to work with this person. Like, I don't want to have to prove myself to you. So we'll probably never be doing in-person sessions again, mainly because it is too disruptive for me. And it's not just the ego. That's the thing that pisses me off the most. But there's, like that syphiling. Syphiling.
Whoa. What are you doing in your sessions? Oh, wow.
Rifling or calming the energy of the room. Oh, my God. Like growing up all different floors.
Whoa, that's a whole different kind of session than I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, it's just too much for me to get through. And if I don't have to make my life complicated, I'm not going to.
Fair enough. Totally.
Oh God, that's funny.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm gonna be laughing about that all fucking night.
Syphiling.
Oh my God. Syphilising. But yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I agree. It's almost easier not doing it in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the reader anyway. And then something else, another analogy, it's like, so we're down here, like if you think of your higher self.
Mm-hmm.
So like our higher self is like kind of above us. And then there's like parts of us plugged into our body. And then it's like the higher selves are still kind of all holding hands up there. It's like the higher selves can grab each other and be like, we're looking for you. And then it's like pulling your energy over there. And I'm actually talking to your higher self so my higher self has went to retrieve your higher self because they're up there in La La Land and there's no boundaries or
La
space.
La Land.
So then it's like, you come here. And then my higher self's like talking to your higher self. And then my higher self's telling me what your higher self is saying. Like that's literally...
It's like a big game of telephone.
Yes, a big game of telephone. But luckily our higher selves aren't stupid. So they pass it down to lowly me down here who can understand it.
Yeah, we're going to dumb this down for you, okay?
Yes. So that's actually what's happening.
Yeah, makes total sense.
Yeah.
And yeah, see, I tap in and I talk to your guides or your higher self whatever, whoever wants to get your ancestors sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's people's animals come through.
That's cool.
It just depends.
Mine's very, probably because I try to control everything, but mine's very retrieval based. Who am I trying to talk to right now? And I'll go get that person. And I should just let somebody come through sometimes, but we'll get there. One day,
yeah,
Kayla will relax.
So I don't know. So this is going to be such a long episode of just bullshit.
Yeah,
that's okay. Who cares? This is completely random and off topic, but I have just been fucking craving a few things here. First of all, I have been craving a thunderstorm. Like I just need that storm energy, and I keep meaning to wear my Petersite crystal, and it's been calling to me for like 2 weeks because I need that storm. Like,
bet you want to put it on, it'll storm.
Oh, I should do. Oh my god, I should put it on tonight.
Yeah, do it for everybody. I want a thunderstorm too.
Yes, and I've been craving that, and I've been craving going ghost hunting.
Oh my god, I want to go with you, but I'm scared.
There's nothing to be scared of.
Well, they're still gonna scare. I know exactly what they are, but I don't know if I want to see those motherfuckers. They scare the shit out of me.
I know it is very nerve-wracking, but at the same time, see, like, oh my god, when I was younger, we'd go ghost hunting.
Oh, and you'd be so fun to go with because you'll know exactly what the fuck's going on.
Oh my god, so my friend Brad, we should have him on the podcast one of these days. He's a very interesting fella. He's fun. But like, we would go together, and for a while we lived in, like, he was my roommate. And we would go ghost hunting at night. And like some of the shit that we've experienced is insane.
Can we please? I know a good spot.
Okay. Oh my god, I want to go like right now.
I know.
Like, I'm not even joking.
All right, sorry, we're done. Bye.
Okay, bye. But yeah, oh my god, we totally should. And then you guys, if you want, maybe we'll do a Patreon thing too, behind the scenes where we go. We go ghost hunting. That could be we'll go ghost hunting and then we'll do an episode somewhere
about what
random.
Happened. Yeah.
Or we'll do it there as we're doing it.
Oh my god. See, I'm like the perfect bait to go ghost hunting with, because you know how they kind of feed off of your fear a little bit.
Oh yeah.
So the more scared you are, the more power and energy you give them. Like, fucking bait me in there. I'll be scared as fuck. Like, I know you won't really be.
Oh no, I get straight creeped out sometimes.
Okay. Well, it's like, I'm good bait. I'll be scared. They'll get really high off of me. They'll have lots to show us.
Totally. Oh, I'm so curious. Because I have got some stories, and that'll probably be one of our bonus episodes.
Yes.
Ghost stories.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, send us your ghost stories if you have them. Seriously, I am 100% like, send us your fucking ghost stories.
Yes, we will read them.
Oh my god.
And maybe talk about them on the podcast.
we probably 100%. We'll talk about them on the podcast. Like, send us your stories. So that's what we want: your ghost stories. We want your awakening stories. We just want to know about you.
Yeah.
Because we want to.
We have an email address, so you don't have to like novel it out on Instagram or Facebook, but you can.
Yeah, you can.
But it's Sassy Spiritual
Bees.
So like
BS. Sassy Spiritual Bullshit.
I know. As soon as I created that email address, I was like, oh shit. But they don't let you... At
gmail.com.
Yeah. They don't let you swear on Facebook or apparently on Gmail. So I had to like ping it down, and I was like, ugh. Sassy Spiritual Bullshit. But yeah, it's all right.
So Sassy Spiritual BS at gmail.com. It's easy to remember.
Oh yeah, that was kind of my point. It's like, I don't want to make it complicated. Let's just
So send us your shit, because, yeah, we're going to have some fun.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway. I feel bad. One of these days, I'm going to have to let you start the podcast with the sup bitches.
Can I even do it, though? I can do it.
You can do it. I feel bad, like, monopolizing that.
No, it's good. You have the better podcasting voice.
Oh, God. And meanwhile, I'm like, I listen to us. Actually, just like, what is that? I sound like a 50-year-old smoker. I'm getting used to it now, because I actually listen to this podcast. Like, I actually go back and listen to it.
I listen to them here or there, but I'm like still one of those people that cringy, like doesn't want to listen to themselves talk. So
oh, that's so funny, because I love listening to you.
Oh, that's good.
Like, that's my favorite. Well, I mean,
my favorite part. Just belittles yourself. Fuck that other bitch on the podcast.
But you know what? You know what's funny? It's like, I hate my voice. I hate it.
Really?
But I don't mind listening to it in this particular podcast.
I feel like it comes out really nice.
Yeah. But I love listening to you. You have such a, like, cute little, like, just, aw.
Yeah, I feel like the energy that comes out in my voice is like a squirrel.
Squirrel!
Like, not like distracted, but like quick speaking and blah, blah.
What was that dog's name in Up? Was it Doug?
I think
Who's always like, squirrel. I'm going to call you Doug.
My new nickname. I love
it. It's not Kayla. It's now Doug.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it feels over here.
Love it. Anyway, this is probably another really long fucking episode.
Hopefully you've enjoyed.
Let
us know, because we're trying to find like our little niche here. Like, what is it that people are interested in, and how do we hold space for that, and what do people want to know about? But for some reason, Spirit is really adamant that we just like wing it. So hopefully that's like working.
I hope you're like, do you guys like this more conversational fucking back and forth banter? Really, that's all there is to life. I know I like listening to podcasts like that.
Yeah. Me too.
It's good times.
Yeah, and it's actually fun for us too. Like,
it is.
Apparently, Randi and I used to be ravers, so
apparently,
we fucking knew.
I like, you know what? Now that, because I kind of knew you were a little punk girl, that doesn't actually surprise me.
Yeah, little punk kid. I still love punk music. I will throw down, but I don't necessarily have to look the part anymore.
I love it. I was more like the techno kid.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Not like super house, but like,
that's fun. I could see that.
But like, I love me. Like, oh my god, when I've been working on my course, oops, I wasn't supposed to let that out yet. I'm working on a course, you guys. But when I'm doing that, I totally listen to, what is it? It's like epic hybrid badass hybrid music or whatever, and it's basically this like hardcore techno shit.
Oh my god, that's too funny.
And that's what I listen to when I work.
Oh my god,
isn't it funny?
I love it.
Yeah. Because that's how
we'll have to post some of our favorite songs on Patreon. Like, I just like,
oh my god,
listening to this like really heavy song right now, and it just makes me like, people ask me this all the time. Like, when I was in university, like the most common feedback I would ever receive is, you don't make any sense to me. Like, people just can't pigeonhole me because I don't make any sense.
That's awesome. I always got, you're unapproachable.
You don't make sense to me. And people would just be like, I'm going to stop trying to figure it out. Okay, see you. See you around.
Good. I'm glad I don't make sense to you.
Yeah.
Fuck you very much.
Probably also why I hate labels, because I felt like they were trying to put me in a box. And they were like, I can't make sense of this.
I love it.
Yeah, me too. So I'm listening to this like really hardcore like music right now, and someone's like, why do you like this? And I was like, it makes me like come to life. I want to like run around and like scream at the top of my lungs. I was like, I just like love that. And then like those like heavy like bass beats or like deep like guitar riffs, I'm just like, I'm gonna fucking kill someone, like in the good way, like, you know, I'm just like yeah, I'm ripping.
Yeah.
Anyway, I found one and I shared it with my sister because she likes it too, and she's like, I just want to like fucking kill someone right now. It's like No Love, like in a good way. It's called like No Love by Gideon.
So interesting. When I get really mad sometimes, I put on Fuck the World by ICP.
That's actually a great song.
I love that song.
It's a good song.
Yeah. If Lisa's listening, she'll be like, no, put on Bitches. Like, she loves that song. Oh my god, it's too funny.
My music tastes are pretty versatile though, except it takes me a little while to get into country. And if I do ever listen to country, it's like the pop version of country.
Oh, see, and mine's like the old school. I was brought up on it though. Like the Saturday night dance party, like we're talking like Patsy Cline, old school.
Oh, I kind of like that
fucking stuff.
I like that old Johnny Cash and like Hank Williams Jr. and stuff like that.
Yes.
Those are good country, but like the new age country kind of thing, I struggle with a little bit.
I think the late 90s was kind of like my cutoff for country. Like Alan Jackson, Chattahoochee.
Yeah.
That's my jam. But past that, not so much.
Yeah.
You know?
No hate though. It's just like I have to like.
It's just not my jam.
If it comes on and I was just listening to like metal music, I'm gonna hit skip. But like, do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, no, that doesn't work. But I actually also love like acoustic folk music.
Oh, I like that too.
Me too. Love it.
A girl I went to college with, she has a band, Hey Ocean, and now she has her own stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I love that sound.
I know her. I don't know her, but I know them.
Oh, I know her.
Yeah. I don't know her.
I know
the band.
Yeah. Hi, Ashley. I doubt you're listening, but if you are, love you. But yeah.
So cute.
Yeah.
She's really nice.
Oh, yeah. She's
seen
a
her
sweetheart.
live.
Me too. Several times. At Louis'.
It's probably at the same one because I also seen her at Louis'.
Yeah. No, it's good times. It's good times. Well, we've been talking your fucking ear off. It's like, what, an hour and a half in? And if you were wondering if we were going to come to a point, the answer is definitely no. No, we are not. But I feel like there was good information that came out, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, clearly. You needed to hear our banter and stories, apparently. But there was good information about timelines and shit like that.
Yeah.
So.
And like holding the calm when the storm arrives. And
yeah. I mean, we talked a lot of stuff in here.
Oh, and how to channel in other people's... Like, we did a good job. We
there's a lot of interesting... But you know what's funny? You know what I like doing about it this way? Is we never would have talked about this otherwise. Mm-hmm. We would have been like, oh, that's not what we're talking about.
And then, like, oddly enough, what I was gathering that we were supposed to talk about ended up coming out anyway, but just not how I thought it was intended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, but for reals, we'll let you go because we're not gonna torture you any longer. And we want to go ghost hunting.
Exactly.
So I don't know if we actually will, probably not, but we'll let you know if we do.
It's on the agenda for one day at least.
Yes, absolutely. All right, you guys, thanks for listening. We will see you again very soon next week. Check out our socials and remember to send us those emails. Talk to you very soon. Bye.